Hi everyone, this is just going to be a quick screencast to show you a few really helpful formulas to make your work a little bit more efficient. Sometimes you'll have a spreadsheet where you have first and last names combined, but you won't need the names together like this. You'll just want a first name or perhaps just a last name. So of course you could start retyping them, but that's a little tedious. You could also use a very basic formula called a split. If you do equals split, it pops right up. Click the cell that you would like to split, followed by a comma, and where you want it split. In this case, I want it split with a space. So quotation mark, space, quotation mark, and close the bracket. And at that point, I'm telling it to split exactly where the space is. If I press enter, it automatically splits the name at the space, and the first and last name go right there. I can drag the formula down and it will apply to the next row. Now you'll notice if I drag it down one more time, it's not going to work because this name doesn't have a space in it. Instead, it has a period. So what I would do to the formula is where I have a space, I would change that to a period, and then it will split it at the period. So that's the split formula. Sometimes you will have names that appear in two columns and you don't want them in two separate columns, you want them in one cell altogether. So this time you use a concatenate formula. All you have to do is type in CON and concatenate comes up right at the bottom. This means I'm joining two cells together. So first I put the cell I want at first, comma. Make sure you do quotation space quotation to create a space in between the first and last name, comma, the second cell you want to join together, bracket, and there it is. Again, drag it down, and this is your formula. Now let's say you have first and last names, but you don't want a full name or just the first and last names, you actually just want initials. So here you have a couple options. Let's say you want first initial and last initial. You would use what's called a left formula. Equals left, bracket, click the cell where the first initial is coming from, followed by a comma and the number 1 to represent you just want the first letter in that cell. Space, ampersand, space, left again, and you do the exact same thing. The cell, comma, first letter, and bracket, and you'll end up with JH. So once again, here is that formula. And if I drag it down, it carries down. Another version of this, if you don't want first and last initials, let's say you want first name and last initial, you just tweak this formula slightly. Come up here and just do the cell reference, space, and then the same thing, and then you get Kim P. So those are a few quick formulas that you can use to hopefully make your work a little bit more efficient.